Hello everybody, this is TechHut. With the latest release of Ubuntu 22.04, we are seeing a lot of the various flavors, derivatives, forks, whatever it may be, follow suit with all of these updates. In this video, what we're going to be doing is quickly looking at a distribution that is keeping the Unity project alive. But first, what is Unity and what the heck happened to it? Unity was announced in October of 2010 with a plan to build a converged Linux desktop that would work on mobile devices, desktops, and even TVs. Mark Shuttleworth, the founder and CEO of Canonical, called this effort Unity, and they poured a ton of financial resources into it. The Unity desktop was first introduced as the default interface in Ubuntu 11.04, which was released in April of 2011. Unity was developed as an alternative to the GNOME shell, which ended up replacing the GNOME 2 interface. Now, Unity 7 was the last version of Unity to be shipped with an LTS version of Ubuntu, as in 2017 October, the version of Ubuntu 17.10 was the first Ubuntu since the release of Unity not to ship with it as the default interface. Unity version 8 was never finished, but it was a huge part of the plan for Ubuntu on all devices, and it did have great potential to be a wonderful ecosystem. Now you may be asking, why was this project dropped? And simply put, it was not a profitable venture, and they needed to make the Ubuntu or the Canonical books look better.
As long as we stay a purely private company, we have complete discretion as to whether we carry things that are not commercially sustainable.
Sure.
In looking at it, we came to a consensual view amongst the leads at the company that we should put ourselves on the path to being a public company.
Now, Shuttleworth did believe in the potential of this project, but he admitted to the miscalculations of overall adoption and what the industry as a whole would just do with this idea of Unity.
But then I also don't regret having the will to go and do that, right? Lots of people will complain about the options that they have, but not go and create other options. It takes a bit of spine and sometimes quite a lot of money.
Now, those little clips you just saw were from an interview at eweek.com. I'm going to link to that down below so you can see the full video. Now, with the nature of free and open source software, of course, this project was saved and continued and made it so it works with new versions of Ubuntu. So you can actually play around with Unity 7 today with the Linux distribution of Ubuntu Unity. And this right here is the login for Ubuntu Unity. This is 22.04, the latest release. Other than what has shipped with just the regular version of Ubuntu, there is not too many changes. The first thing, this is my very first login to an installed system. We get our keyboard shortcuts, so that is very handy to see what everything can do. So for example, I tapped Alt and that's going to open this little search right here. Obviously, if I open this, it'll open up my, or hit the super key, it'll open up all the applications. And overall, this is just a real good feel, especially if you're somebody like me who's been kind of playing around with Ubuntu and Linux distributions ever since I was basically a little kid. I do have a lot of experience in Ubuntu Unity. And one thing you're going to notice is it took a little bit of time for the Firefox application to open up. They are using the Firefox snap just like they're doing in Ubuntu. Now, there's not a lot of changes other than all the changes that I talked about in the regular Ubuntu update, which I've talked about a couple different times. In this specific version of Ubuntu, they've added a FlatHub and Flatpak support by default. And of the following no maps have been replaced with alternatives to better fit in with this UI. For the document viewer, it looks like we have Artrail, I think. Text editor is now Pluma, so I'm kind of curious to what that is here. I personally have never used these applications, but I can see what they mean, how this kind of fits in with the general vibe of the system. Close that out. Video player VLC, EOM is the image viewer, and they're using the Mate system monitor. I personally haven't dived into this distribution on the channel at all, so I'm not too sure of what all the different applications are here. If I open up the file manager, and I believe global menus are enabled, so if we go up here, we can see this global menu. If I go help about, looks like we're running Nemo, so it's sharing some of the Cinnamon applications. If we close this out, go back over here, the BIOS and EUFI ISOs are no longer split. And if you want to learn more about this distribution, you can check out their blog. I will be linking this down below as well. So if we go under all of the installed applications here, We have Firefox. We have a lot of the basic Ubuntu stuff. If I open up details here, let's see what that is. Okay, so it just gives us some general system stuff. This allows us to go to all settings. So let's go under appearance and see if we can change anything here. We have some wallpapers, the theme, nothing's selected at the moment. Oh, this one's selected. Okay. Whoa. Oh no, it's not allowing us to go back to our initial selection. That's not good. There was no initial selection. Uh-oh, did we find an issue? So there's definitely some issues. So right now it's using just above a gig of RAM, which is normal, and almost none of the CPU. I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of here real quick. And I believe it's using a good number of snap packages. If I go snap list, we're using notes, we're using the GTK common themes and GNOME 3.38, as well as the Snap Store, Snapped, Firefox, all the basic stuff. This definitely feels like I'm trying to use Ubuntu in like 2012 or something. Through this old school menu here, we have our folders. So these are shortcuts to our documents, all that. If we go over here, it should list all the different videos on your computer, as well as music and photos within this kind of old school start menu here. Again, here's our applications. We have 54 here that we could go ahead and select from. I installed HTOP, so there was 56 by default, as well as some buttons in the application menu for some reason to log out, reboot, power down. Okay, theme. Oh, thank God. So here we were able to restore a theme through the Unity tweak tool. They should probably like redirect the settings panel for appearance to this tool. That would be a decent idea. And now we have all of our icons back. Like, oh no, we don't. Is it actually changing these icons? I don't think so. It's not changing some of them. So in this Unity tweak tool, we have our launcher settings, so we can auto hide it. We can change the transparency. We can change icons to like wiggle, pulse. Let's show this desktop icon here. There we go. Oh no, this doesn't look too good either. About software. They have like 41 here. I mean, these GTK applications really don't look very good with this title bar here, but it's okay. Under icons, you have various animations that you could change. If we go over to search, you can add background blur, the type of blur for panel. We can change how long the menu shows, change the transparency level. So if I bumped that up, is it actually changing? Oh, there's the menu. Yeah, I'm definitely not really a fan of this. Yeah, there's really not a lot going on. This definitely, if this is what you like, this is what you like. But for me, personally, no. If I wanted something with this kind of a vibe, I would install XFCE and customize that, because I'm just not a fan of this. I can see why Ubuntu thought that it was a financially reasonable thing not to proceed with this desktop environment when you have amazing options like Plasma and GNOME and all of those. But even with its little flaws and all that, the fact that they've maintained this to the ability that they have to keep it running on the latest LTS version of Ubuntu, just that alone is really cool. And if you would like to try this out for yourself, the download links, the link to that blog article, and that video interview with the CEO of Canonical will all be linked down below. With all that, I do hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell so you do not miss any future uploads. Liked it, like the video, disliked it, go ahead and give it a dislike. With all that, have a beautiful day and goodbye.